Hello. I have appeared from the depths of hospital. Hello. Oh boy, do I have a story for you guys. Um, Not a very pleasant story, to be totally fair. I might have to take a small break in the middle of it at some point. My tumbly is a little bit rumbly. It's been a little bit upset today. I just got home yesterday, and I had my surgery day before yesterday. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I am tired though, but more than tired, I'm also really fucking bored. But I need to speak a little bit more slowly than usual because it hurts to talk a little bit, just a little bit, because of the respiration thingy that they put into you to make you breathe when you're down under. Yeah, it's gonna be a short stream, but just wanted to stream to kind of let you guys know I'm okay. I'm tired, for sure, yeah. I'm not in the best of shapes, by no means, but I'm okay. And hopefully things will get better from here. So it was probably for the best overall, right? So let me oh, you can see I have like these big like band-aids on me, as you can see. There's actually 3. It was a bother to find a third one, so I just have 2 now. Let me make this bigger. So I'm not gonna be drawing a whole lot because I can't really bend over. So I'll just be like writing things down today, mostly. But on Monday, right? Nothing really was going on. It was pretty normal. It was the last day of my vacation, and I was feeling pretty fine, and it's a open mic podcast day, by the way. So if you guys want to join, feel free to do so. You don't have to if it's very early or very late or whatever, but it is an open mic podcast day as usual. But so Monday, I was just doodling stuff during the last day of my vacation. Pretty excited to get to work. Tuesday, I was drawing all day because I was doing work stuff, and I managed to get stuff done, and I was feeling pretty good. But my tumbly was a little bit rumbly. This was Tuesday. Rumbly. And I was like, okay, well, my stomach's been upset a lot recently, so I was like, you know, it's probably one of those again. And wouldn't you know it, in the evening, I had one of my usual, like, what I thought were like gluten-related throwing up fits. I didn't really eat anything super glutinous on that day, so I was a little bit confused about it, and it was pretty bad. And so I was like, okay, well, I survived, and My stomach cramped a lot. So then on that night after the throwy-uppy event, I actually managed to not throw up, which is not necessarily a good thing, but I really hate throwing up. It's very unpleasant. But yeah, anyway, on that same day, I remember I after the whole episode was over, I was feeling pretty good. I was like, okay, well, it's finally over, sheesh. But there was this like small like echo of something in my lower abdomen. The lower right side, specifically. Sorry if I have to take a small break from talking every now and then. There's a lot of air inside me, and burping is really painful. So I have to tilt my head upwards to let the air out. But yeah. So my stomach was a little bit upset, or like the right side of it. And I was like, okay, well, it's been like this before. But it felt a little bit more intense than usual. And I started getting a little bit worried when on the day after, which is Wednesday, I still had it. My tumbly was still rumbling. So it was like here. It was like here. Like that. And hello, Arcade.
Hey.
And so I was like, okay, it's a little bit unusual for the pain to go into the next day, but it wasn't super bad. But I was sussing it out already that it was probably a pendy whatever itis. So I called the local health hole, whatever, the place where the healthy people are. And I was like, hey, I had a throwy-uppy attack yesterday, and today my lower right abdominal area has been a little bit pained. And they said that, just follow the situation. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll follow the situation. And when I got up for the first time, it was actually pretty painful. I was unable to do work, which to me is a sign that there's something very, very badly wrong. When I'm unable to do work, it's a bad sign. It was that bad. And so around like 4 p.m. so it was Wednesday, 4 p.m. My dad came home, and I was like, I think there's something wrong with me. And my dad was like, you should probably go to the emergency care. And so I marched to the emergency care in pain. It's like in Pokemon games, when your Pokemon is poisoned, whenever you take a few amount of steps, the screen kind of goes zit, and then you take some damage. It was like that. Hello, Bear.
Hello.
You're a little bit.
Bear.
You're a little bit quiet. Let me louden you up.
My microphone is a little bit away.
Oh, okay.
Should be better now.
Oh, yes, it is. Much better. But
just gonna listen.
So
Also,
Wednesday, 4 p.m., I go to the emergency care, and at this point, the pain was pretty bad. And I remember, I distinctly remember thinking on the way there that I shouldn't be such a Finnish person and keep, like, downplaying the pain that I'm in, right? Because when I called earlier, I was like, you know, it's not that bad. That's what Finnish people generally do. They're, you know, you lost like an arm, and you're like, you know, it's like a 2 out of 10 in terms of pain. So I went there, and the clerk at the desk asked me like what kind of pain I was in on a scale from 1 to 10, and I was like, you know, like a 7 or 8. She was like, oh shit, okay, that's not good. And so I was given painkillers, and then I sat around for maybe 2 hours in line waiting for stuff. There was a blood test taken in the middle of that 2 hours. Yeah, Finnish people have a very strange threshold for pain. It's kind of in our culture to not be like a bother, right? So it feels like you're being a bother if you make your problems everyone's problems, right? So it's sort of anti-Finnish to be like, oh fuck, I'm in so much pain, fuck, I'm suffering. But it was good that I said that, because they didn't detect anything in my blood tests. So with that in mind, they were like, okay, so blood tests do not show that you have appendicitis. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good, right? And they're like, well, sometimes if the appendix hasn't ruptured yet, it might not show up, right? So I'm like, okay, so what do we do then? And they're like, well, first of all, you get to wait in queue some more. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, this is my favorite thing. Especially when I didn't bring any entertainment outside of my phone with me. I ended up reading like 40 chapters of like a girls' drama comic in there. And by the time they asked me, and my phone was almost out of battery already. So they had to do a magnet imaging thing. It was very strange. There was like this room with like this kind of machine that was like this, and there was like a circle here. It was like this, and then like you just like put the Mae-mae through like a thread through a needle like this. And then it just like, then it just like measures something. And they like put some kind of magic shit into my system, I guess my blood, and it was showing up in the magnet imaging. And through that they were able to figure out that, okay, so I do have acute appendicitis, which is not a good thing. It's not a super bad thing, but it's bad enough to require surgery within 24 hours.
No, it can get painful.
Yeah, Daimo is familiar with the MRI machine. Yes. So I went there and got like, and then it tells you when you have to breathe. It's like, now you breathe, now you hold it in, now you breathe, now you hold it in. And the stuff that they put into your veins to make it show up in the machine, it makes you feel very warm. And they said that it might make it feel you like you peed yourself. And I was like, fuck, that's not cool. It didn't really feel like that, at least from my memory of how it feels like to piss myself from like when I was a kid. but I could be wrong because it's been a long time. But so they figured out that I had the thingy. I had the appendix exploding. And so they just put me in a side room. Side room, and I was just like laid out there on the bed. And they said that I do need surgery within 24 hours. So I was like, okay, well, that's not cool. I had to put on like the fucking hospital clothes. They're not very stylish. So I just sort of sat there with my phone. Luckily, one of the nurses found me a charger, so I was able to charge my phone a little bit. But the charger was so short that I was unable to fiddle with my phone while I was laying there. So instead, I just listened to the problems of everyone else in the room. It's kind of depressing. But you know, it's good material for my books, since the witch book that I work on has a main character who has like spent a lot of time in the hospital, so I can use this as reference material. So yeah.
So you were still working.
Sort of, yeah. You could say that, yes. That is a CT scan, not MRI. I think it was an MRI. It was a magnet thing. And they just went like... But so I was here, and because here in Finland the hospital situation is a little bit difficult right now because there's not enough hospital workers, but there's a lot of people in trouble. They've started sort of specializing specific hospitals for specific things. And the hospital that's near to me doesn't do abdominal surgery. Oh, MRI doesn't use varjoaine. Oh, maybe it was the other thing that... Oh, yes, it... Oh, never mind. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know this shit. So, but yeah, so... This is Hospital A, where I was. Like this. And it was 3 a.m. And like a smiley nurse came in to the room. I was just fiddling with my phone. Because of my 3 a.m. is usually around the time when I go to bed. But they were like, oh, lucky you. They found you some space in the other hospital where the surgery will happen. So I'm like, oh, cool. So at 3 a.m., they got me a taxi to the other hospital. Like so. So I went there, and the drive was awful because the road was really icy, and the car kept swerving around like fucking sucked. It was super scary. But I eventually made it, and I marched all the way to the hospital, and then I went to 7th floor. Sorry, I mentioned earlier for any new people, it's a little bit difficult to speak, and also there's a lot of air inside of me right now, and burping is really, really painful, but there's a lot of air coming out of me, so sometimes I have to take a small break to let some of the air out. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So now I'm in Hospital B, right? And let's do like this. There we go. And I go into the 7th floor, and the nurses are like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, what up? And they guide me to like a little space. There was a window. It was like this. There's the bed. like this, and then there's the room. Very hospital-like. That there was like a paper curtain here, and then Mae-mae was here. Stick figure now. There we go. As you can see from this great illustration, it was a very desolate situation. I was there, and there was some like grandma right next to me. It was like 4 in the morning. To my fortune, the grandma was very talkative, and she just got up at like 4 a.m. started chatting to me about like how she was feeling. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then she started throwing up, and I was like, oh fuck. And I was like, should we call someone? And she was like, no, I've got this cup here that I can throw up in. A model Finnish person doesn't give a shit about the fact that she's throwing up in a hospital in the middle of the night. She's throwing up in the cup. She's not making a mess, so it's okay. So yeah. And I was like, okay, that's okay, sure. Have a good one. She had just had surgery before, and it was apparently cancer, and it was successful. So good for her. But next morning, it was like 7 in the morning or so. 8 a.m. is when they started opened the surgery halls. So right, before I went to bed, a very tired surgeon came in, and she was like, hello, it's a really busy, but we will make sure that you have your surgery within the allotted 24 hours. And I was like, cool, don't worry about it. And she was yawning the whole time she was talking because it was 4 in the morning and she must have had a really long day. So respect to her. But the next morning, I wasn't given anything to eat because when you're going to surgery, you can't eat anything within 6 hours of the surgery. And because they didn't know when my surgery was gonna be, basically they had to play it safe, you know? So the last meal, so on Wednesday, when I went to the emergency room, I didn't eat anything because it was very painful. So they gave me a juice and a yogurt at the hospital, and I ate that. And after that, and until the point that I had my surgery, I didn't eat anything, which was kind of an experience as well. But because it was unclear when my surgery was gonna be, I wasn't able to have anything before it. So I just sat in bed. It took a good while. I was talking in Discord about it as well. I was kind of stuck in bed, and I wasn't supposed to really move around because of the problems inside Tumbly. And so I just sat there, and I think I just read manga like the whole day and watched YouTube. And then at like 5 or 6 p.m. that day, I talked to grandma, throw up grandma, a little bit more. Luckily, she did mention her throwing up to the nurses. Apparently, it's pretty normal after a surgery like hers. So they weren't super scared over what happened. She was very talkative, and she told me about her cat, who really misses her, and she was a pretty good company for the duration that I spent there. And So at like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. roughly, I was confirmed that I have my surgery. Well, okay, let's be fair. At like 12:30, I was told by a nurse that, hey, get ready, your surgery will be soon. And I'm like, okay, cool. So like within an hour. So 5 p.m., 6 p.m. roughly. So it's a little bit longer than an hour later. It was actually time for surgery. So they just took me in, and it was pretty like sort of like there's nothing really about it. They just, there was a table and they were like, okay, you get on the table. And I got on the table and they're just like, okay, so we're gonna poke some holes in you and see what happens. I'm like, okay, cool, that sounds very exciting. And then they put the sleepy stuff, because this is a surgery that you have to do while you're not conscious. My first one, I've been in a surgery before, and that was for the beautification of my neck area. And I was fully awake during it. And honestly, I would say that I prefer staying awake. Even though it's really scary to have someone fiddling with a knife next to your neck, there's just something about it. Like the knowledge, the fact that you're sort of in control still, it makes it feel less scary. But when you're put into sleep, it's somehow really, really scary. But I fell asleep in like 2 seconds. I was like, I guess my sleep resistance stat is very low, because I went like lights out in a fucking second. And then I remember seeing a dream about Elden Ring. I was collecting items. I think it was a randomizer, because I was getting weird items. And then somebody woke me up and I remember feeling irritated. I was like, fuck, what items did I get? I remember thinking that. And then I realized that, oh, fuck. Wait, I had a surgery, right? So I woke up in the wakey-uppy area. There were like those chair beds from Evil Within, where the characters wake up when they've been inside the STEM system. And I was in one of those, and I was like, oh, fuck, okay. I guess I survived. And there were like these really sort of like very stereotypical nurses. They were like gossiping about each other and talking shit, and they were really snidey and snarky. Like it was like exactly the kind of environment that I was like, oh yeah, I know this is like the rumored backroom talks. So I just sat there and listened for a little bit. And then I was taken back to my room. I was given a ride, even, by this one of the snarky girls talking shit there. She wasn't like talkative at all. She just wanted to get the shit done. And it wasn't. She was the friendliest person. But I was taken to my room, and it was all nice. I had so many painkillers put into me that I didn't really hurt or anything. I was actually feeling pretty good. Yeah. Those kind of people are not super nice. It doesn't make you feel very relaxed. Not to mention that the environment in a hospital in general is already a pretty bad time. I really don't like hospital environments. There's something about them that is just inherently scary, I guess. Because you go to a hospital when you know that there's something wrong with you, right? So they took out Appendix Kun. So Appendix Kun is like this, right? Kind of looks like a nipple. And let's give him legs so that he doesn't look so much like a penis. There we go. So Appendix Kun was like taken out, and I was pretty fine, and I was pretty much left alone for the rest of the day. I managed to get another charger from a nurse again, and I was just in bed listening to some podcasts and stuff, kind of relaxing. And then at like 4 in the morning again. I don't know what it is about surgeons and 4 in the morning. Don't worry about it. You guys can talk when you feel like it. So surgeon comes into the room, and he's like, the operation was successful. It's a pretty routine thing, so we're pretty used to it. But Appendix Kun was kind of weird. So usually when the appendixes are infected, they're like very hard. But mine was like very hard, like they usually are. But when they started like putting the little lasso over it to pull it out and snippety snip it, the lasso started cutting into it. So he was very soft. Very soft in texture as well as being hard. I guess in some specific parts it was very sort of fragile.
It was like maybe rigid or something.
Yeah. So it was strange. He said that he had never seen an appendix like it before. But it was no problem. They had to cut it out and a part of the intestine with it, and they just snipped it in. Now it's good. And right before he was leaving, he was like, "Oh, and by the way, we found a cyst in your kidney." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, what does that mean?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it. It's just, it's just a friend." And I'm like, "That doesn't sound very good." Apparently, so like cysts, it's a very bad word. In Finnish, it's kusta. I was instantly reminded of kuski. One of my friends, and I was told this kusta because it was apparently very small, like kuski is. So here's kuski, the kusta. I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Kuski has like.
I don't think
Kuski
hair. Wants to hear that she's being compared to a cyst.
Oh shit! I shouldn't laugh. Oh fuck! That was really painful. So this is mini Kuski.
Yeah, maybe we should not make Mae-mae laugh.
Ah, fuck, that was, no, laughing is not a good thing. Ah, shit. But there was a mini Kuski in my kidney. And I was like, so is that like a really bad thing? Because usually when you see the word cyst, it's in a sci-fi video game and some kind of alien race has infected you, and you have like a cyst or like some kind of egg sac is called like the alien cyst or something like that, right? But apparently cysts are something that no one can really like they form on organs surfaces, like just kind of randomly. People don't really know why they come there. They're basically just like a bag of hot water.
Us.
Yeah, they don't really do anything. They're not really harmful. If they get very big, they can press against other organs, which can cause discomfort, in which case they might need to be like removed. But he said that this mini Kuski, the cyst, probably is completely benign, so not dangerous. But just in case, they're gonna send the scans of it to a specialist. So either I will get a call to further experiments, I think next week, or they're just gonna be like, fuck, stop wasting our time with this shit, which is apparently considerably more likely.
Which is preferred,
Yes.
but
Yes.
And
It's like it's better to be safe than sorry.
yes, yes. But it wasn't the most relaxing thing to hear. At like 4 a.m. that I have a cyst, because cyst is a very dangerous word in my head. So I was Googling it and I was like, ah, fuck, what does this mean? And like, ah, fuck, I was so scared and all that. And
Google your symptoms.
but so I Googled it in English and everyone was like, okay, you're basically dead now. But when I Googled it in Finnish, everyone was like, don't worry about it, it doesn't do anything. So American people are just very dramatic, and maybe not very medically knowledgeable.
It's just
I had a cyst once.
everything. I was
That
like, I have a little bit of a fever, and it was like, yeah, you're gonna fucking die in 2 days.
Yeah, and yeah, Kuono,
So
you
you're
are
pregnant.
pretty correct. It's like, I remember when I was Googling maybe if I have appendicitis and stuff, and they were like, oh, fuck no. It's like your one of these organs that's like malfunctioning, it's causing things to happen inside of you, and you're probably gonna die. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks. That makes me very relaxed. But I was actually, my guess was appendicitis from the very beginning, and that was what it was because my dad also had it.
My dad had it too, and I'm not really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's not a good time. It's not a good time. So I had it taken out, and the next day came. Sleep was very welcome. And in the morning, I woke up feeling pretty good, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. And I was given like a pamphlet that explains sort of the recovery period of it. And so the back in the old day, right? The surgery is done like this. So they make like a hole here, or I guess here, and they just kind of pull it out and cut it, right? But today, if your belly button is here, they do one here and one here, and they just sort of peek inside from here, and they pull it out from here, I think, something like that. I don't know why they do this. I guess it's easier or maybe just safer or something like that than the old method. But this is what they do, especially if the Mr. Appendix Kun hasn't exploded yet. Mine hadn't.
Which in your case, it didn't. Okay.
Yes, mine had not ruptured, so I was still good to get the sort of better method, I guess. But there's a bit of a thing with the better method, and that is that they fill the stomach cavity with carbon dioxide to expand it so that it's easier to work in there, right? So basically, it's like that awful inflation picture that Yersu drew of me.
I was about to say.
let me find this awful image. Where is this fucking awful thing? There it is. There it is. So I was basically filled up with air like this, and then they poked holes into me and did things. But apparently, in order to make it work properly, some of the air has to, like the carbon dioxide, has to stay inside of you. And it is left to slowly sort of dissipate through your skin over time. And that's basically it. So you're going to be a little bit bloated for a while. It's not really dangerous. But the carbon dioxide dissolving through your skin is extremely painful. Like so fucking painful. It's not cool at all. I don't know if you guys have ever had like muscle pain. Like during like corona or an influenza or something like that, you have a muscle pain. It's like that, except that it's like concentrated in a specific part of your body, and it's like tenfold. It's awful. It's really bad. It's the kind of pain that makes you... It's worse than constant cramp. It's much worse. It's like there's like a burning dagger coming out of your shoulder. And yeah, it comes out through your shoulders, which is very strange. So I have So I have 3 cuts in my stomach. There and there and there and there. Or like there. And none of them hurt. There's no pain at all. But this area here, where the CO2 is, fucking hurts like shit. It feels like there's like waves going on inside there. Waves made of fists that are constantly punching my insides. And then, for some reason, it has like these little arms, like this, that it has extended into my shoulders. And it keeps punching them from the inside as well. And it fucking hurts like shit. Like fucking seriously hurts. Like, holy shit. I was unable to do anything when it was like going on. It was so fucking miserable that you are basically just paralyzed by the pain for a good while. And the funny part is that the nurses just come to you and they're like, well, do you want to know how it gets better faster? If you start walking around. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And they're like, nope, unfortunately not. And it was, so that day was actually the day that I was let go from the hospital. I only had, so the next day after the surgery, I was already allowed to go home. So I had the most painful walk of my life ever. I walked like for like 2 minutes. I walked around the little donut shaped sort of area where there's like the little rooms here, and my average speed was like 100 meters an hour, and I was in so much pain. I was just grimacing and like gritting my teeth and like, oh fuck, it was miserable. It was kind of funny though. I was laughing the whole time, but it was a very, very, very bad feeling. I wanted to cry, but you know, when it's one of those moments, you can just laugh, because you know, it's like Willy Wonka from Moomin has told, life is suffering. So I was just like gritting it and bearing it. I was constantly asking the nurses for painkillers, and they were like, nah, we can only give you one every 6 hours because you're going home today. I don't know what that means. But I guess the measurement of if you're capable of going home is, if you don't need more than that, then you are qualified to go home.
I think it's a little bit more because of side effects, and
it could be.
Like they are not allowed to give you too much, because
yeah,
then that has lasting effects. Yeah.
But yeah, so I had a very painful walk. I had some food, small amounts, and then I was given my clothes, my stuff, and I walked out of the room, and the grandma was very sad because I couldn't be there to talk to her anymore. She still had to be there until Sunday. So I guess tomorrow she's gonna be able to go home. And I hope she does well. And so I walked to the place, like the reception. And they were like, okay, we're gonna get you a taxi ride, right? Because that's generally how they send you home here, and they're gonna cover most of the fare. So it's supposed to be like 25 euro for the taxi ride, which is a pretty good price. And so I walk downstairs. I get this message on my phone that says, hey, we got your order, we're gonna be getting the taxi to you soon. I'm like, cool. I walk down there, there's a bunch of people waiting there with their phones in their hand, and there's like this automatic message, like the elevator music, and an automatic message playing on everyone's phones. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But because my taxi hadn't arrived yet, I just sat down, and then one of them was like, are you waiting for a taxi? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, apparently all of their systems are down, so they can't drive us, because like without the proper connection to some server, they can't confirm that the drive is supposed to be covered by the Social Security department. So hello Ken. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So there's this, everyone is calling a different taxi company, and they're all on queue. That's why their phones are ringing with the elevator music, right? They're all on queue, and the last person I heard was like the 37th in queue. I was like, okay. And they were like, just like, nothing we can do except get another taxi. And I was like, oh fuck, are you kidding me? I have to wait for like an hour for a taxi in this state? And so I started talking to, hello. I started talking to this nice lady there, and stroke of luck, she was going in the same direction as I was. And a taxi driver came in, and he was asking, hey, is everyone here waiting for the Kela taxi, as it was called, the social security taxi? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, well, the systems are down and we don't know when they're going to be recovered, so there's not really a whole lot we can do. So before he was able to walk out, I shouted after him, how much is it for you to take me to my home? And he's like, oh, well, it's probably going to cost a little bit, like around 70 euro. And then the lady who was sitting next to me, she was like, how about we split it? Because she was going in the same direction. And the taxi driver was like, you know, let's make this a deal. And with that, we got a taxi driver, and we split the bill. So I had to only pay like 30 euro, and she paid 35 because she was going a little bit further. And the taxi driver was complaining about the shitty social service servers that always crash for the whole trip. And it was pretty funny. Apparently this was not the first time.
Yeah.
And then I was brought home, and I slowly waddled home, and I made it back in. I was in a lot of pain, but I got some painkillers after. Like I went to bed as soon as I came home at like maybe like 3 p.m. and I fainted for like 3 hours. I was just out. And at like 6:30, 7 p.m., I get a call on my phone. And I wake up to it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Who is calling me now? And it's the fucking taxi. Not the guy who drove us here, but the one that I was supposed to have. And he was like, I'm here now. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I'm home already. And he was like, okay. And just just shut the phone off. I was like, what the fuck?
What day was that that the taxi all had the problems?
It was
Thursday?
It's Saturday now. So it was Friday.
Oh. It might be because on Friday there was like a big outage because IPv4 ran out again.
Oh, could be.
I had some problems midstream, and I think some other people had that as well.
It could very well be. But yeah, So that happened. I made it home. I fell asleep. I had something simple to eat, and I was not in the best shape. But after I got some painkillers, like proper painkillers, I was actually able to sort of waddle around the house a little bit. My average moving speed is still awful. I can't move very fast at all. I can't bend over to do anything. And I have to roll out of bed. And as I mentioned before, talking and especially burping is really painful. Talking isn't that bad unless I make some specific sounds, and I can't laugh, and I can't cough, and I can't show any emotions, or they'll dare get me. So I had acute appendicitis, and I had to be put into emergency surgery. So we're going over that story. But today, in the morning, I woke up. I was feeling actually pretty good. The pain from my stomach and my shoulder, it's still there sometimes in some specific sitting positions, or especially laying down positions where I'm like slightly angled upwards. It comes back. I still feel bloated. But I was able to take a shower. My belly's completely red. They apparently use some kind of beetroot thing to mark the area where it's like sterile, so that they can, like, you know, poke around freely. So I'm like, my midsection is totally red, and it's kind of funny. Yeah. The surgery, like the marks, they don't look super bad. I haven't had any complications. There's been no like weird fluids coming out of me or anything like that. So I'm hoping that with the cyst thing, after that's out of the way, I can relax about my health for a little bit. And it would be very nice, because it could very well be that because I've been, like, if you guys have been sort of up to date with my stuff, I've been sussing that I have celiac, because my stomach goes really upset when I eat grains. But it could very well be that I've been like having a slight infection in my appendix for a very long time. Apparently it can take a long time, and that's the cause of my rumbly tumbly. So I'm hoping that maybe this will take care of those like very big throwing up attacks that I had in the past. So even though it was a really awful experience and I never want to do it again, holy shit, I hate hospitals so much. It was maybe worth it. I hope it was worth it. Mae-mae beetroot, yes. It was maybe worth it, because even though I suffered a lot, on the long run it's for the better. And especially with acute appendicitis, it can be lethal if it bursts. So, well, it's most likely going to be lethal if it bursts, and if you don't do anything about it. So I was honestly pretty lucky, especially considering the fact that in about exactly a month I'm supposed to go to the USA, and I would have been ass fucked to oblivion by this shit if I would have had this happen in the States. Yeah. It's I read that the average price for this removal shit is $9,000 to $18,000, and I'm like, no, thank you, no, thank you, no. So I'm glad that I managed to get this done here in Finland, where in total I'm most likely going to have to pay about €100 for a total of 2 taxi rides, 3 days spent in a hospital and a surgery. Free healthcare is pretty fucking cool. And I hope...
I think in America, 9 to 18,000 euros, that's for the one ambulance ride.
Yeah. And I hope that Americans will one day realize this as well. And change.
No, we realize it. It's just...
The people in charge don't want to realize it.
But common healthcare for everyone.
Free healthcare is amazing, Jojo. It's amazing. Like, this would have financially ruined me if I was living in a country that wasn't free healthcare, right? So yeah. Thank you, Talkari. That is very, very sweet of you. But yeah, that was basically it. Today I've been just playing video games and watching anime. It's been pretty relaxing, although I can't really lay on bed because that makes my shoulder really hurt. Which is, again, funny. Yes, I get it. It's weird that your shoulder hurts when you had an appendicitis surgery. But yeah. So I had it done, and I've just been getting my Steam Deck ready for my trip to the States. I've been downloading some games that I want to play on the trip, and just trying to relax. But you guys know me, I'm not very good at it. So I've been already contemplating on if there's anything like work-like that I could do while I'm like recovering, you know? Because it makes me uncomfortable, because my vacation ended Monday this week. You know, it's like that. Yeah, exactly, Taimo. It's like the medication receipt says 3.6k euro, but then your responsibility of that is 9 euro. It's fucking amazing. Free healthcare is a great thing, and slight cough without insurance is like 150 just from visiting. Yes, and to my understanding, like removing like a wisdom tooth is like thousands already, because it's a surgery. Staying in a hospital room is awful. Like, it's super expensive. Ambulance also ruins you financially. So
you can either be in debt or you can die.
Yes.
Debt or dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a very predatory system, and it's no wonder that people in the States have very little trust for their medical professionals. Which is why there's so many like health-related conspiracy theories and alternative medicine solutions that are being shilled in the States, because people can't afford to be healthy without it being like some kind of magic bullshit that is not going to work. It's very sad. But I, for one, am glad that I'm done with this. I can't do any heavy lifting or like big movements for the next 2 weeks. So Kuono is gonna have to do some extra work when we go to Desukon, because I can't lift any of the book boxes that I have with me. But he's my lifting boy, so he should be able to probably do it. He did it very well last time too. So, but last time I did lift some of the stuff too, but now I literally am not allowed to. But yeah. But Kuono is
very much, Kuono.
Yeah, Kuono is in good enough shape, so he can do it. There's more boxes now that I've got my witch book. So you have fun with that, I guess. But yeah, I think one of the big problems in the US is the fact that it's one country when actually each American state is the size or bigger than one European country, and they have weird combination laws rather than... Yes, it is a very strange system.
Well, that and the fact that because you have a very, very strong capitalistic society, like,
yes,
there is a lot of lobbying for by big companies to keep their profits as high as possible.
Yeah. I could help, but I guess I can't get helper access pass anymore. If you are there around the time we arrive, it's probably not a problem if you come and help. I would really appreciate it if you would come in. because I can't move the boxes myself at all. We'll see what kind of condition I'll be then. Considering how quickly I've recovered so far, I think I'll be probably fine, but I don't want to rupture the stitches. So yeah.
Yeah, don't risk it.
Yeah.
Please.
I won't. And I will do my best to not do any work for at least today. And if I can do it, maybe even tomorrow. Maybe just a little bit of work on Monday. And then maybe I'll return to work sort of patiently, starting next week properly. So yeah, that's what's been going on with my life, as little as I wish that was the case. But acute appendicitis is not really a pleasant experience, and I don't wish it to any of you. If there's some really annoying asshole, maybe I could wish it to them, because it's kind of annoying. It's not that dangerous, but it's really annoying.
People.
Yeah. But oh, you know, it's not acute. It's not acute.
It's not a mini kiski.
It's acute appendix kun. He's very serious. But yeah, no, I think the systems in there are pretty lax for that kind of stuff. So you might be able to. But yeah, so today I've been just trying to get my time to pass. I found an interesting anime series because someone dropped it in the Discord general chat, and it's actually been pretty fun. And it's about medicine and hospital stuff, but from the past. So it's a pretty good sort of cool down anime from all that shit. And this has been very good for inspiration for like the general hospital atmosphere stuff. So I can use it in my witch books, because the main character is a hospital patient. She's been one for her whole life. So now I can make the suffering be even more believable for the future books. And it's very important for the second book especially. But
she's gonna learn the inflict appendicitis spell.
Yes, exactly. and yeah, but I'm okay. I'm okay. What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, I'm making myself laugh.
Oh, because of the appendicitis spell?
Yeah, that's just like a fucked up ethical spell.
Yeah, it is. It's a very annoying spell. But I wish I was okay. God damn it! I'm sorry, Taimo, that you're not okay. But yeah, I'm okay. I have my stuff pretty ready for the convention. I haven't done my presentation yet. I was supposed to do it early this week, but you know, shit happens. I have my cosplay already. I'll be cosplaying Krim from Interspecies Reviewers. And I have my books. My stickers should be coming in earlier this week, or this upcoming week, I think. So I'm gonna get some nice big stickers. They should be way bigger than the previous ones, so I can charge more for them, which is great because I like money. And then I'll just be doing some work stuff, and then after that I'm gonna go to the States for a month, and it's gonna be a very busy early year for me. But I'm really glad that this happened anytime later. If this happened, like, let's say 2 weeks later, my US trip would have probably been very seriously jeopardized. And if this happened even later, then my financial well-being would have probably been very severely jeopardized. And yeah. But generally speaking, I'm okay. If you see me like tomorrow, sort of without anything to do, if you have nothing better to do, come play some video game with me, because I don't know how to spend my free time. I'm very bad at it. I've been already hired to do some pseudo raiding for Final Fantasy tomorrow, so that's good. So I'll go do that, and hopefully I can find some other ways to fill my time without doing work.
I shall be free tomorrow.
Very good, very good. I could use some company. But yeah, I don't necessarily want to stretch the stream super long, but since you guys have just been sitting here like as we say here in Finland, hiljaa kuin kusi sukassa, silent as a piss in a sock, share your thoughts. And yes, that is an actual saying.
But
Oh yeah, I've heard that in Control.
Very good. So what's going on with you guys, appendixes?
well, thankfully, not worrying about that yet on my end. Or mine.
It's in the
Again,
lower right part of your abdomen, so...
Lower
Wait, you guys
right,
haven't heard
vice versa.
hiljaa kuin kusi sukassa? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Silent as in church.
It's
What
like,
fucking kind of Jesus family were you raised up in? Was hiljaa kuin kusi sukassa here like a piss in a sock? When like you've pissed yourself but you can't tell anyone, so you're trying to stay silent about it. First time for you as well. God damn it, what the fuck? Are you guys even Finnish? I think there are some kind of like artificial intelligences in this chat acting like they're Finnish.
I should maybe link you that, like a video of all the cutscenes with Artie the janitor from Control appearing, because he, like, the game is in English, but then he uses Finnish idioms in English, and it sounds very funny.
Oh yeah.
I had Tasha translate them for me back then.
Yeah.
And at one point, like, he says, "Oh, did you have piss in your sock?"
Yeah.
He says it in a way that you can tell, if
Yeah.
you have heard somebody speak Finnish, you can tell that man is from Finland.
Most
It's
people
almost
I
like
know
a-
don't use rough language. My parents are both from Karjala. It's like the, how should I call it? It's like the barbarian area of Finland, I guess. It's like where the Finnish barbarians lived. And there's a lot of very funny things that they say. One of the lullabies that my mother sang to me when I was young, it was like, shit. Let me turn off the music so I can try to remember the melody a little bit better. It was like, tuu tupakkarulla, anna pissan tulla, pitkin housun lahkeita, ettei kirvele kinttuja. Which translates to, a roll of tobacco, let your pee go, let it dribble down your pants sleeves so that your toes don't tingle from it. It's a very gross lullaby, but that's what my parents sang to me when I was. It's a barbarian family. They collected potatoes from icy ground to sustain themselves. Yeah, right. You have heard the start, but then it goes into the weird P version, and that's what my mom always sang to me. She was a weird mom. I don't know if she was just like shitting with me, but like, yeah, it sounds like a local spin-off of a classic. Yes, exactly. I don't know why there were so many like pissing yourself themed things in there, but that's how it is. But like there are stuff like for example the word loophole. You know, when you figure out a legal loophole or something like that. Here in Finland it's called porsaanreikä, which means the hole of a hog, or like the pig's hole, which I'm assuming refers to the asshole. Finnish people are pretty gross. with this kind of shit, I guess. But yeah, sorry about that. As I mentioned before,
You're good.
No, yeah,
I need to take some breaks every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's sort of the kind of things that I was given the wisdom to when I was younger. Or it might be hole in the fence that the pig uses to escape. That could be a thing as well, yeah, Guono. That could be a thing. That could actually be a very, very good thing. Yeah, that could actually be the accurate thing. Get away with the whole hog, yes, indeed. But Finnish idioms are very, very strange. You're just instantly thinking of butthole. Well, what can you really blame me? I was sang lullabies about pissing yourself when I was a child. My mind was filth from the beginning. But yeah. But things are fine. My books are still books. I'd imagine it comes with the field of work you're. I don't know about that. I'm a pretty wholesome person, despite the fact that I draw various kinds of holes.
Can confirm.
Yes, indeed. I'm a very wholesome. Even Bear can confirm. He bought like
manages to be like to do the splits between wholesome and lewd.
They can be hand in hand sometimes. He bought like furry artwork for Christmas with a friend of his. For Christmas. So he can very wholesome, yes. So he can confirm that I can indeed do very wholesome images as well, even though it was like slightly sexually charged as well. Small pigs, there were holes made into fences for small pigs so that they could run more freely. Swift little pigs figured out holes in places where they're not supposed to be and ran to do evil. Okay. I mean, but even the pigs were doing evil things in Finland. So yeah. Always loved the fact that an English person asks to goddamn someone when things go wrong, but Finnish person asks God to help someone when they hate them. No, you guys, fuck. Don't make me laugh. That is a very Finnish thing. That is a very spiteful thing to do. That is a very fucking spiteful thing to do, and it's fucking hilarious. I didn't really think about it like that before. That is very funny, and I almost laughed at that, and I started getting like the do inside of me, and it is very painful. But yeah, basically I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm okay, and I kind of wanted to fill my day a little bit with something, because I sort of don't know what to do, and because of my current state, I can't really talk a whole lot. But maybe like tomorrow I'll be in a good enough shape to be able to voice chat and stuff like that on Discord for longer periods of time already. So if you need some company, come hang out. I'll be free after probably after 4 p.m. Finnish time or so, after the raiding stuff in Final Fantasy that I have to do. Yeah. But glad to see everyone's doing fine. No one else is having this shit to deal with. That's good. And I'm glad that this is over with. Probably gonna be in pain for a while longer. But at least I don't need to go back to get my stitches out, because these days they make stitches like melty. So they like dissolve by themselves. So you don't need to go to the hospital again. So I'm good with that. And let's hope that Mini Kuski, the cyst, isn't aggressive. and she's just very kind, a very kind little sis, and she's just hanging out there to look around. And
They were able to catch that just in case.
yeah, and a day before the convention stuff, I'm gonna get a call to get a report on acute appendix kun, to sort of see what's going on with him. Like, was he the cause of my state and stuff like that? Well, obviously it's probably yeah, but yes, and yes, no saunas, that is true. But yeah,
just bring your mobile sauna.
I don't know how that would
What's
make
a
it any
mobile
different.
sauna?
But that it's still hot.
There is apparently like sauna mobiles. There are just saunas that can be attached to your like trailer mobile.
Yeah, but that's still a sauna though.
Yes.
So what difference would it
Did I
make?
misunderstand? I thought that you were complaining that there's no saunas in America.
What
No,
the
there is
fuck?
no saunas in America. There's no good saunas.
No, there's
in
no
America.
saunas in America.
That's
The
for sure.
saunas in the States suck ass. But I can't
Oh,
go
yeah.
to sauna anyway right now, so it's probably best
Oh,
if
you
I...
can. Okay.
No, I cannot, yeah. I can't swim, and I can't go to saunas for the short foreseeable future. So I'll probably purposefully avoid that, even when I go to the States. I'll just be loafing around, doing work, buying things. That's probably gonna be it.
Yeah.
Child masquerade. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
sauna chairs.
Makes you look like a cube.
It's like having the uncomfortable parts of sauna, but none of the good parts. Yeah. Yeah, American saunas are shit. They are awful. But without going too much into it, maybe I'll rip and tear through American saunas, because I do have an American
do it.
sauna story from the States when we went to one with Arcade, and it was 40 Celsius. And I was like, fuck, this is such a joke.
The second time was shittier than the first time.
Oh yeah. So
Were you
yeah.
mentioning the fact that when we were going by one of the places, we could hear banging against the wall?
Oh yeah. Oh, that was not a good time either. But yeah, American sauna was 40 Celsius, and you were not allowed to cast any water on the stove. So it was basically like the kind of room that you put your wet shoes in to dry them up, and it's still gonna take it like 3 hours to dry them.
Sauna.
Yeah, it just makes the moisture warm. It was a fucking awful joke. And then there was like a hot tub next to it with like band-aids and condoms and stuff like that bubbling at the bottom. And pubic hair. It's a very, very delightful
Okay, I didn't
experience.
see the condoms. Did we really sit in that?
No,
shit?
no, there was no condom.
Okay, thank God.
But band-aids
Yeah.
and pubic hairs, plenty.
Yeah.
But yeah, American saunas, everyone, don't go them. Just don't go to them.
The ones that you can go to that seem like they're legit are like over $200, and you have to make a reservation
Yeah, just don't go.
for the private ones.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's stupid.
Yeah, Americans are they like money a lot. Even more than I do. And they try to make money with the weirdest things.
Lowest quality bullshit.
And lowest quality bullshit, yes.
That just means you can make more money by incurring less cost. I've had.
But the problem is that if the populace doesn't give a shit about the quality, then they're not gonna go for your service, even if it's better than the other ones offered. If they don't have a flavor for quality saunas, you know? I mean, Arcade is a bitch when it comes down to saunas too. It's like he can stay up on the top bench for like maybe at most 10 minutes, after which he has to go down.
Oh, that's generous. Thank you.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
I can last more like 5 if we're doing like the straight up sauna thing that we did. At the,
I have no idea, because the last time I went into a sauna, I was like fucking 14 at most.
Yeah, oh yeah, German. You guys don't have saunas there? Like sort of.
No, and well, I mean, to be fair, when we did go to a sauna, it was in a like a bigger swimming pool area in Belgium.
Ah, I see.
I don't even know if they still have the place open.
Mm.
And now we can't go there because my parents don't live there anymore.
Oh darn.
It's fine.
You can build your own sauna in your own house one day. Maybe you can replace the room of your roommate with a sauna. Sauna is a pretty good roommate.
Oh gosh, that's an idea.
But yeah, as much as I would like to talk more and spend more time like this, I probably shouldn't, because I'm not really all that well yet. As much as I have energy, like I'm like my head is feeling fine, right? I have a lot of energy. I'm hungry. I want to eat everything, but everything below that is like nah.
Yeah, go get some rest.
Yeah, so I'll go
get some rest.
I'll go finish my anime, and I'll play some probably Monster Hunter or something like that. And
I got some D&D prep I gotta do before everybody gets here.
And read prog. I don't think it's gonna be that difficult. We're just gonna do the Criterion normal version. Since I think on Tuesday there's a big update on Final Fantasy XIV, so we're gonna get the relic weapons to their final stage at last. So then after that it's gonna be more serious. But for now it's gonna be very lazy.
Lazy's good.
Yeah. But I will
like even then. Don't call yourself lazy when you're literally recovering from surgery.
I mean, I guess so. I guess so. But you know, I could be doing
Well,
work.
her form of relaxing is working.
Yes.
So
yes. So it's kind of weird to not do work, but I can't really do work right now. So I'll just drink water. I've been drinking a lot of water because, like, when your body is in pain, it sweats. Sweating is like a response to being in pain, right? So I've been drinking a lot of water.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, I'll let you guys go for today. I will try to return to streaming on Wednesday next week. We'll continue with some games and stuff, and try to take it easy and sort of see where it goes from there. And if you need me for anything today, hit me up on Discord. I'll be able to reply at least in text. If anyone wants to do some monster hunting or something tomorrow, hit me up. I'm very much down. But yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for listening to my story of suffering, and thank you too for dropping in. And though you didn't say a whole lot, it was still nice to have some more people here than just myself. And there's a lot of people here today, which is very nice of you guys to be concerned over my internal organs. But yeah, I'll let you guys have a nice night. And if you have any anime suggestions from like the recent sort of like the last 3 or 4 seasons of anime or something, hit me up. I would probably need some anime to watch. It's been proving like the best solution for spending my time right now.
The quote-unquote mistake of like opening a manga recap channel on YouTube, which is like just what it sounds like. They recap in the story of some anime or manga, and for people I guess don't have time to read the whole thing.
I have enough time to read manga. I don't want to be recapped. Yeah.
I did this in like a YouTube tab specifically, and the Firefox thing said that the YouTube algorithm now only recommends me that kind of recap thing on that particular tab.
Yeah.
So it's very funny.
It do be like that sometimes. Do be like that. Let's see if my phone's been secretly listening to me and it's starting to offer me some like like, I don't know, some
Yeah,
appendix
that's-
clothing for my appendix or something that I can put on it if I want to display the
Okay.
appendix. I don't know what kind of stupid shit people do with their appendixes. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. I'll go watch some more anime, and I'll see you guys again on Wednesday, or maybe tomorrow if we end up playing something together.
Yeah, do take care.
I shall.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-o.
Bye bye.